EPO, the most widely used drug in endurance sports, allowing you to go faster, harder and longer, is now arguably more rife than ever. But how much does it cost? How much does it boost your performance, and what are the risks? Well, let's take a look. Firstly, what is it EPO actually does to you? In short, it artificially increases your red blood cell count, allowing more oxygen to be carried to your muscles, in turn optimizing one's performance, allowing you to go further without exhaustion. Basically, it turns you into a superhuman. Now, when it comes to performance at the elite level, every second counts. In fact, screw that, every millisecond counts. So even the smallest edges are significant. EPO, however, gives you slightly more than a tiny edge. It's huge and literally monstrous, with studies showing it boosting performance by 3 to 6%. To break this down in a real-world example, if we looked at the men's 5km final at the Olympics, the first 3 places were within 1.5 seconds of each other, and the top 5 within 4 seconds. Hypothetically, if 5th place took EPO and saw a 3% increase in their performance, he'd have knocked 23.4 seconds off his time. 23.4! He would have dominated the field, absolutely obliterated. Even if he'd only seen a 1% increase in his performance, this would equate to 7.8 seconds, still leaving him in first position, dominating the field and winning by quite some way. All that 5th place needed to win was a 0.51% increase in his performance. That's it. That is literally it. So the incentive to dope at the top level is just ridiculously high. At what cost does this come at though? Well, if you did a 4 to 6 week cycle with a transfusion every 4 to 5 days, this would equate to 7 to 10 transfusions over this time period, with each one costing in the realm of $990. This would assume a cycle would cost between $6,000 to $10,000 in total. This is obviously dependent on the dosage, etc. So this is quite a lot of money, if done under professional supervision, and not in some shifty, shitty manner. However, if you hypothetically won a Tour de France, aka Lance Armstrong from doing this, well not just 1, but 7, or you win a major world title or anything like that, the chances are in a lot of these cases you're going to be netting way over $1 million from prize money, sponsorship and other endorsements. So in a lot of cases, the costs are absolutely negligible compared to the benefits and the money you're going to reap as a byproduct of this. The funny thing is though, one case study saw a rise in EPO in amateur athletes. Clearly people have way too much money and are just stupid, absolute idiots. So great, assuming you take it, actually win, don't get caught and can live with the shame of being an absolutely fat, disgusting cheater, you could go, yeah, this is absolutely worth it. But honestly, there's some pretty nasty side effects which you really cannot negate. Something called hypertension can occur, whereby due to the increase in red blood cell count, the blood thickens drastically, putting a lot of strain on the heart, massively increasing the risk of a stroke and a heart attack. And this in itself was a contributing factor to 20 deaths in European cyclists over just 4 years. There are also additional risks of blood clot on top of this. You know, it's all fun and games until you're putting your own life at risk. And arguably nowadays, the pressure to win, dominate, and just make a shitload of money is pretty big, where a lot of people are actually willing to risk their health at this expense. So it's super sad and tragic that it's actually got to this point. And at the end of 22, there were 3 Kenyans banned for a collective period of 8 years. And just last month also, Zane Robertson, the New Zealander, was banned for 8 years for EPO as well. Look, the list goes on. I could list athlete after athlete after athlete. And honestly, I believe this stuff is everywhere, simply hidden by well-orchestrated team setups and medical support, which is just sad and tragic. Anyway, it is what it is. I think it's pretty clear that EPO does have some major benefits, especially at that top level. But honestly, I think the risks of death, the risks of health complications do not make it worthwhile. I just think the world we live in today is about glory, money, just being that big dog, and obviously therefore that incentivizes people to take drugs. It's sad, it's just fucking disappointing at the end of the day because it's not fair. It's never going to be fair. But yeah, that's sort of my little breakdown of the pros, the cons, why people do it, the negative health risks of doing it. Yeah, drop a thumbs up, like, subscribe, the whole shebang if you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers!